Where do we begin? Imagine you're setting out on the dream and expedition of a lifetime, and that you're able to take a voyage down over 12,000 feet to see the Titanic wreckage. And then imagine that across the world, that this submersible that's owned by OCEANGATE loses contact with the ship above in which it's supposed to communicate, but loses its communication. And these people are now lost underneath the dangerous ocean waters that lie below. Please say a prayer for the 5 people that are in the Titan, and please say a prayer for the families that are going through absolute sheer torture as they wonder exactly where their family members are. The Titanic lies 12,500 feet below the ocean waters. The Titan submersible can go down to depths of 13,123 feet. But even if they do hear banging, how are they going to reach them or save them? There's only a few of these that exist in the world. So I wonder, what would be their plan of action? Or will it be too late, sadly?
OCEANGATE Expeditions offers you the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be a specially trained crew member safely diving to the Titanic wreckage site. A 12,500-foot journey to the bottom of the sea. It's the OCEANGATE Titanic experience.
Sadly for these 5 people that are aboard the Titan, they did not sign up for this adventure for sure. And hopefully, with enough prayers and hope, these 5 people will be brought to the surface of the ocean water that has already taken so many lives.
Sitting at 3742 meters, reports on bottom.
But that was the last of the good news.
I said, do you know where we are? 100 meters to the bow, then 470 to the bow. If you are lost, so are we.
There's no GPS underwater, so the surface ship is supposed to guide the sub to the shipwreck by sending text messages.
Turn 30 degrees right?
Probably 30 degrees.
But on this dive, communications somehow broke down.
On the latest developments.
Sarah Jane, all we know is that on Sunday, the submersible went below the surface of the sea. It was descending 4 kilometers down to see where the Titanic is. Titanic is 1,500 miles off the east coast of the United States, 350 miles south of St. John's in Newfoundland, at a depth of 4 kilometers. I mean, this is quite significant. We're talking about really extreme depths here. As you can see, around about 14,000 feet. The submersible itself is a Titan submersible. It's quite basic, really. You can see its diving capability is nominally 4,000 meters, and Titanic herself is at 3,800 meters. So you're actually on the limits here. And what has happened, the actual safety pulse that comes out as a sonar signal from the submersible failed, or was failed to be received in the support ship. And so from that point onwards, there was obviously an emergency taking place. Either there's been a power failure, or indeed there's been something more catastrophic. And we haven't heard anything from the submersible since then. And the basic problem is it's tiny. It's 20 feet long. It weighs 10 tons, but it's made of glass-reinforced plastic. So even if you're looking at it with a sonar, it's not actually reflecting any sonar pulses back to you. There's a lot of debris on the seabed. Titanic itself, of course, is part of the problem. So you're looking for a needle in a haystack here, even if you actually had any vessels in the vicinity that could actually look for it. Because the only thing that can really look for it is another submersible, and they don't have one at the moment.
Yeah, they are few and far between, because on the one hand, this is an incredible piece of kit in terms of there are not many bits of equipment that can go that far beneath the surface of the ocean. But then on the other side of it, it's actually a bit of rudimentary kit. You were talking about, you know, what it's made of, and you know, much has been made of the fact that it's controlled by an old games hand controller. I mean, your mind's a little bit blown by that.
No,
what
look
are
at
the
it,
limitations?
Basically, you're looking at a glass-reinforced plastic hull. It's been presumably tested down to the sort of depth that it's designed to go to. But that composite material is actually quite fragile. You get any breach, the thing's going to implode. But this is pretty basic. Just look at the external hull. There are no mechanical arms or grabbers or anything like that. This looks like a Colombian narco sub. These are the sort of things you find off Colombia that have basically they've had their bits of kit procured from the internet and all sorts of other places. And it's incredibly basic. So if it gets itself entangled or underneath an obstruction, it hasn't got these mechanical arms to get itself out. And you've got this single port at the front, which gives you very limited visibility out to about probably 10 feet, and a sonar that will give you another indication out to about 20 feet. So if you're down there in this very, very obscure, dark and cold environment, you're on the extremes here, there's no question. If you go inside the hull, we've seen some videos of what's going on inside. That's a laptop. That's not a computer screen that's mounted in an integrated system, and it's actually steered by a games console. Yeah. So whilst you can actually praise the inventor for saying, look, this is fantastic innovation applying modern technology, this is Mickey Mouse. And you know, you and I have got to ask ourselves, would we go in something like this, which looks so basic, to go down to 4 kilometres?
Well, one of our correspondents was actually looking at the company that's in charge of this submersible, their website, and it was talking about licensing and, you know, regulations for this kind of submersible. And I think one of the quotes of the website was, you know, licensing can't keep up with innovation, which, you know, would set alarm bells ringing, particularly knowing what we are now witnessing. What stage do you think the search is at? We heard from the US Coast Guard earlier that they're widening the search. And I don't mean that in terms of, you know, width. I'm talking depth. What can we read into that?
So, Jane, I mean, I think they're just giving us news, quite frankly. The best they can do at the moment is look on the surface with aircraft and with ships to see if the thing's actually bobbed up to the surface. It's released its weight, used its compressed air to come to the surface. I think that's a bit of a forlorn hope myself. They would have found it by now. And that's a huge search area that you can see there. It's probably out to about 20 miles. The fact of life is they can't actually start looking until they've got some platforms that can actually look under the surface. They don't have them. And you're going to have to look with active sonar, pinging away, looking for this thing. But bear in mind what I said. It's glass-reinforced plastic. It's not metal. So the echo's coming back, and it'll be very difficult. You've got Titanic there with all the debris from Titanic, and it's sitting on the bottom, and frankly, looking for a needle in a haystack is child's play compared to this.
This is the OCEANGATE website, and over here you can come to the Titan photo gallery and check out the imagery of this submersible that has gone missing, of course, in the waters near the Titanic, just off the coast of Newfoundland. Thank you very much for watching this video. Again, prayers to the family and the people that are involved in the submersible. Hopefully some good will come out of this. Prayers for everyone as they struggle through this horrific time as they await answers. Please give this video a like and a share, and perhaps if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing.